For centuries, ancient Hebrew texts have been revered, studied, and debated. They are often presented as rigid codes of conduct, filled with pronouncements of thou shalt and thou shalt not. We imagine stern prophets laying down the law, emphasizing obedience above all else. But what if this common perception is far from the truth? What if these ancient writings hold a message far simpler, more profound, and deeply connected to the natural world? Imagine reading these texts beneath an endless expanse of stars, feel the wind carrying the scent of cedar and salt, hear the gentle murmur of a nearby stream. These stories spoke of creation as an ongoing process, a continuous unfolding of the divine will. The ancient Hebrew texts urge us to look at the world around us, to study its patterns, and to recognize our place within its intricate web. To truly grasp the essence of ancient Hebrew thought, we must learn to read their texts as elaborate patterns woven from the threads of nature. These writings were meant to be experienced beneath the open sky, with the scent of wild herbs filling the air. The ancient Hebrews were keen observers of the natural world, recognizing the cyclical nature of life in all its forms. Their texts became a reflection of this lived experience, capturing the essence of natural cycles and translating them into a language that resonated with the human soul. The ancient Hebrew texts are replete with metaphors drawn from the natural world, each one offering a glimpse into their understanding of life, death, and renewal. Consider the image of a seed planted in the fertile ground, lying dormant until the life-giving waters of rain awaken its potential. This process of growth mirrored the human journey of transformation, the unfolding of potential within each individual. The ancient Hebrews recognized the cyclical nature of life and death, observing that what might appear as an ending is often the beginning of something new. What makes these ancient metaphors so enduring is their ability to transcend time and culture. The natural cycles that captivated the ancient Hebrews are still unfolding around us today, whispering their timeless wisdom to those who pause to listen. These natural rhythms resonate deep within the human heart, because they remind us that we are not separate from this intricate web of life. The ancient Hebrew texts offer a simple yet profound message, that life is a journey of becoming, a dance with the rhythms of nature, a constant unfolding of the divine within and around us. Our modern understanding of ancient Hebrew texts often stumbles over a single potent word, ra. Translated most commonly as evil, this word has been burdened with centuries of moral judgment. In its original context, Ra possessed a far more nuanced meaning, closer to the concept of how we perceive adversity or challenge. The ancient Hebrews didn't view Ra as something to be feared or avoided, but as an integral part of existence, a catalyst for transformation and renewal. The ancient Hebrews understood that challenges were not inherently negative. Ra wasn't something to be eradicated, but rather navigated, learned from, and ultimately integrated into the fabric of life. The ancient Hebrew texts, viewed through this lens, become less about prescribing a rigid moral code and more about guiding individuals on a journey of self-discovery and growth. Ra becomes not a force to be feared, but a vital current within the river of life, propelling us towards our fullest potential. By misinterpreting Ra as evil, we inadvertently create a fragmented view of ourselves and the world around us. The ancient Hebrew perspective invites us to move beyond this limited duality and embrace the full spectrum of human experience. The ancient Hebrew texts provide a framework for navigating the complexities of human existence with wisdom, compassion, and a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. They remind us that within every challenge lies the seed of opportunity, within every experience, a lesson to be learned. The image of the ancient Hebrew God as a stern lawgiver has become deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. Yet this perception obscures the profound simplicity and natural wisdom at the heart of ancient Hebrew teachings. The ancient Hebrews, deeply attuned to the rhythms of the natural world, didn't perceive the divine as separate from creation, but rather as the animating force flowing through all things. Their texts sought to align human behavior with this natural order, guiding individuals towards a life of harmony, balance, and fulfillment. The ancient Hebrew texts often employed the metaphor of a river to illustrate the nature of life. Just as a river flows effortlessly downstream, adapting to the contours of the land, so too should humans navigate the journey of life with a sense of fluidity and acceptance. The ancient Hebrews understood that resistance to this natural flow only creates suffering. Our role is not to control the music, but to find our place within the symphony, to move with the rhythm, and to trust that even amidst the dissonance, there is a profound beauty and harmony at play. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel disconnected from natural rhythms. Take a moment to step outside, to feel the wind on your skin, to listen to the rustling leaves, to watch the clouds drift across the sky. These are the same natural wonders that captivated the ancient Hebrews, that inspired their stories, their songs, and their understanding of the divine. We are not separate from this natural order, but rather an integral part of its intricate web. Imagine a simple clay vessel crafted by the hands of an ancient artisan. It's passed down through generations, each keeper adding their own embellishments, their own interpretations of its purpose and meaning. Over time, the original form becomes obscured beneath layers of paint, glaze, and ornamentation. The essence of the vessel remains, but it's buried beneath centuries of accumulated additions. This is a fitting metaphor for the journey of ancient Hebrew texts through time. The original words, imbued with the wisdom of their time, have been subjected to centuries of translation, interpretation, and cultural bias. Each generation, each culture, each religious movement has imprinted its own understanding onto these ancient writings, often obscuring the original simplicity and natural wisdom at their core. The act of translation itself is fraught with challenges. Words in one language don't always have direct equivalents in another. Nuances of meaning, cultural context, and even the translator's own biases can subtly alter the original message. A word like Ra, as we've explored, can morph from a concept of challenge and growth into a monolithic representation of evil, fundamentally shifting the entire tone and message of a text. Beyond individual words, entire passages have been reinterpreted through the lens of evolving religious doctrines. Stories originally intended as metaphors for navigating the human condition have been codified into historical accounts, moral pronouncements, or even legalistic frameworks. The organic wisdom, rooted in observation of the natural world, becomes overshadowed by layers of dogma, ritual, and theological debate. The tragedy of this interpretive layering is the loss of the profound simplicity that characterized the original teachings. The ancient Hebrews, living in close communion with nature, expressed their understanding of the divine and the human condition through stories, songs, and proverbs that resonated with the rhythms of the natural world. Their wisdom was experiential, rooted in observation, and accessible to all. Yet as these teachings were passed down through generations, often in times of upheaval and cultural change, the emphasis shifted. The simplicity of living in harmony with nature became overshadowed by a desire for order, control, and a sense of security in an unpredictable world. The texts, once a source of guidance for navigating the complexities of life, became increasingly associated with rigid rules, punishments for transgressions, and a focus on an afterlife rather than the present moment. This shift from organic wisdom to rigid doctrine is not unique to ancient Hebrew texts. It's a pattern repeated throughout history, across cultures and religions. As teachings become institutionalized, the emphasis often shifts from personal experience and direct connection to the divine to a more hierarchical structure with authority vested in texts, interpretations, and religious leaders. The result is a distancing from the original essence of the teachings. The vibrant array of life, with its inherent cycles of growth, decay, and renewal, becomes obscured beneath jumbled threads of man-made rules and regulations. The whispers of wisdom once carried on the wind and rustling leaves become muffled by the weight of interpretation and dogma. Embark on a journey of unlearning to peel back layers of interpretation, to rediscover the simple, profound wisdom at the heart of these ancient teachings. This is not an easy task. It requires a willingness to question assumptions, to challenge long-held beliefs, and to approach these texts with a sense of humility and openness. It requires us to step outside the confines of our own cultural conditioning and to embrace the possibility that the meaning we've ascribed to these texts may not be the only meaning or the true meaning at all. In the modern world, it's easy to feel a sense of separation from nature. Yet the ancients of various cultures understood that this separation is an illusion. They recognized that humanity is not separate from nature, but rather an integral part of the cosmos. This shared origin creates a profound bond between humanity and all living things. Just as the seasons turn, bringing periods of growth and dormancy, so too do human lives ebb and flow with times of joy and sorrow. This interconnectedness wasn't merely a philosophical concept for the ancient Hebrews, it was a lived reality. Their stories, songs and prayers were infused with imagery drawn from the natural world. This perspective challenges us to reconsider our own relationship with nature. The wisdom in ancient Hebrew texts holds timeless relevance. Their insights transcend cultural boundaries and speak to the essence of being alive. In a world facing environmental and social challenges, these teachings offer a path forward. True fulfillment comes from aligning with the natural order and recognizing the divine spark within. Cultivate gratitude for the interconnectedness of all life. Integrate ancient wisdom into modern lives by reconnecting with nature and seeking quiet contemplation. Approach ancient texts as living sources of wisdom, guiding us to a just, compassionate and sustainable world. Embrace the flow of life, find wonder in the everyday, and recognize the sacred in the ordinary. Remember, we are all interconnected, part of something greater, and our actions create ripples of change. Ancient Hebrew texts reveal a perspective both humbling and empowering. We are woven into the fabric of existence, participants in a grand symphony. The divine flows through all things, the rustling leaves, the crashing waves, the breath that animates our body. We are co-creators in this ongoing symphony of existence. Our choices send ripples through the web of life, impacting the entire planet. We find solace in knowing we are part of something greater. Challenges are opportunities for growth and transformation. We return to our rightful place within the grand symphony of existence. If you enjoyed this journey into ancient wisdom and modern life, please share this video and subscribe to our channel for more enlightening content.